This is current event summary number 4 for Doug Voss 2025 transportation class. Today we will be discussing the impact on bringing manufacturing back to the United States and the impact that it has on the trucking industry. So first and foremost, there are positive impacts to bringing manufacturing back to the United States. There's increased in domestic freight demands. More goods made domestically equals more goods moved domestically. Instead of relying on imports, which arrive via ports and are often moved by rail, manufacturing within the U.S. requires raw materials and finished goods to be shipped between domestic suppliers, factories, distribution centers, and retail outlets. This boosts short-haul and long-haul trucking volumes. There is job creation and fleet growth. Higher freight demand leads to increased hiring of trucking drivers. Trucking fleets may expand their operations and invest in new trucks, trailers, and logistics infrastructure. There's also more regional and short-haul routes. Manufacturing tends to create localized supply chains, which could result in more regional trucking routes. Shorter routes can improve driver retention as they allow drivers to spend more time at home, helping address the driver shortage problem. There's also going to be stabilization of freight rates. Greater domestic production and consumption could reduce dependency on volatile international shipping and ports. This creates a more predictable freight environment, which can help stabilize spot and contract freight for carriers and shippers. There are some potential challenges, however. First and foremost being infrastructure pressure. U.S. roadways, bridges, and freight corridors may face increased stress, especially in regions experiencing rapid industrial growth. Without investment in infrastructure, congestion and wear could worsen. Driver shortages. The U.S. already faces a shortage of truck drivers. Increased freight reshoring could exacerbate this issue, driving up wages but also causing capacity constraints. However, in my personal opinion, I already see this occurring. Urban and environmental regulations. Manufacturing returning to or near urban areas can increase local freight activity, possibly clashing with urban congestion rules, emissions, regulations, and local ordinances. There may be pressure to electrify fleets or adopt cleaner technologies more quickly. Border economic and strategic benefits. Reduce supply chain disruptions, for example, from overseas shipping issues or geopolitical risk, national security. There is stronger domestic production of critical goods, such as semiconductors and pharmaceuticals, job growth in both manufacturing and logistics sectors. Currently, what has happened is since 2010, 2 to 2.5 million jobs in manufacturing have been created via reshoring plus foreign direct investments. In 2023, about 287,000 jobs were announced from reshoring plus FDI. Private spending on manufacturing buildings/factories has surged. For example, around an 80% increase in construction of manufacturing facilities between 2022 versus 2022 to 2023, especially in electronics and semiconductors. Surveys show many firms intend to reshore or nearshore, meaning moving manufacturing closer, but actual growth is slower in some cases due to constraints such as labor costs, regulatory issues. Also, in a CNBC survey, firms production could more than double cost, and many rely heavily on automation versus labor. However, in my opinion, yes, in the short run, it will cost us more, but as we continue to grow and as we continue to increase our efficiency, that will make things cheaper. Freight volume decline versus tariff effects. Some of the boosts in freight, especially imports, is due to a tariff anticipation, i.e. they are front loading, rather than sustainable increases from reshoring. When tariffs settle, volumes may drop. Cost pressures. Labor, real estate, regulatory energy costs are higher in the U.S. than in many low-cost manufacturing countries. These erode margins and slow down how quickly companies can afford to reshore. Labor and skill constraints. Firms often point not to just cost, but difficulty finding skilled workers for advanced manufacturing or automation. And these are just some of the current events that have been going on with trying to reshore. Thank you.